Hey guys, I just came back from watching Warcraft in theaters. This movie was interesting. I mean, I was going into this movie kind of not knowing what to expect. I mean, I've never played any of the games. I don't know much about the history. Yeah, as you probably can tell from some of my trailer reviews of this, and it's just kind of interesting to see how this goes and stuff. And I think it'd be fun for another. This could be another Lord of the Rings type thing, and it's kind of hard for me to not compare it to Lord of the Rings. But I think it's also unfair to compare it to Lord of the Rings because this is, yes, it's based off a video game, but Lord of the Rings has been around for so much longer before it got a movie than this did before this got a movie and stuff. And so I think this is just kind of this as a film. It was kind of interesting. It was kind of fun going into it. So it was, that I was kind of expecting some sort of game, some sort of Lord of the Rings type thing. So it was kind of interesting. I mean, the CGI and the visually, it looked amazing. Visually looked perfect. Looked awesome. It looked really great. A lot of the orcs look pretty cool. Now, I've never played much of the video game, so it's hard to compare it to that and stuff. And the only thing I can remember is like pieces of seeing commercials for the show, for the game on TV or online or something. But other than that, I think visually this movie looked amazing, looked awesome. I definitely think it looked really great and stuff, and it was pretty cool the way they did stuff. But some of the story elements were some of the things were kind of didn't make sense to me. There was some point where a character does this or that, and it's just like, really, I knew that this was going to happen to that person, but I didn't know, like, it doesn't make, I understand why they did it, but it doesn't make sense why they did it to me, why they had to go that route. And then kind of, setting up the maybe the conflict for the next movies and stuff. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like there's to set up for another movie. I'm glad they didn't, like big cliffhanger setting up and stuff like that, thinking that this is knowing that this is going to be a hint, because I hated that when movies do that, when they kind of, make a, are too confident of themselves and they put a big cliffhanger, and yet the movie doesn't do anything and stuff, and the movie just bombs, and then kind of nothing happens to it, doesn't get a sequel or something. So I'm really glad that they didn't do that in this movie. That's what I would have disliked it if they did that. I think I'm glad that they did some things, and it definitely was an interesting movie. I think some of the story parts were cool to see. Some of the visually, like I said, it was awesome. The magic was cool, and orcs looked great. There were just some things here and there. There were some relationships, like some of the main characters. There's some father and son relationships that I wish kind of had more time, so that when certain things happen to certain characters and stuff, we would have been able to appreciate it more and be more impactful. Whereas, it's just kind of like, oh, he's kind of barely there, and then it happens and you're like, yeah, whatever. So I just would have liked to have seen a little bit more building between that father-son relationship, just to kind of so that the payoff at the end is a little bit more impactful. So other than that, this movie was kind of fun. It was definitely visually amazing. And, I definitely think that if it's on Netflix and you happen to go watch it, it's on Netflix and you see it in there, definitely watch it. It's definitely awesome. Even if you haven't played the game, it looks amazing. It's worthwhile watching it for there. Now, if you've played the games, let me know what you think about this movie. How do you think it's an adaptation from the games to the screen? But if you haven't played the games, I think it's definitely it's worthwhile watching, just because how good it looks and stuff. It's worthwhile watching if it's on Netflix or something like that, just for visually, because it does look good. Is it visually the next Avatar? No, but it is very good visually. It is a very good visual movie. Yeah, so let me know what you think, guys, if you watch this movie, and if you also, like I said, if you've played the games, let me know what you think of this movie. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.